Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. In today's video I am going to be painting an autumnal wreath based on the recent change in the weather and also inspired by the colours in this new set of gouache that I have, which you can see on the screen. It is the artist Loft gouache and I found it very cheaply. I think it was about £5.99 for this set of 12 different colours from the Hobbycraft in the UK. And so I decided why not give it a go. And so this range of colours did inspire me because it felt very autumnal. I did find these paints were really easy to use, really easy to mix and pretty easy to control. Not the best at painting, and but I found that these did pretty much what I wanted them to do. It was a little difficult with very small round dots that you'll see me trying to do later, but other than that I found these really easy to use. They were fairly quick drying as well, not as fast as some other gouache, the whole brine gouache that I've tried before, but that's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's best with a little bit of working time, but you will see that later on that it maybe wasn't fast enough where I'm involved. I have a very good tendency of unfortunately putting my hand into paint and wet paint, and you'll see me do that and smudge this piece unfortunately later on. I found that some of this paint was a little bit streaky in places, not like majorly bad, but you can tell it's not like the most high quality paint, but it was really good fun to have a play around with anyway. So that is what I am doing, and basically for this piece I just chose some autumn colours and painted some random autumn leaves and other kind of autumny objects, acorns and conkers, and I tried to do a pine cone but it was maybe not the most successful pine cone. That's where some of the paint it kind of smudged and stuff, but you know, things happen, it's not the end of the world. Anyway, autumn is actually one of my favourite times of the year, although it has turned a little bit chilly very quickly here the last week. It dropped basically from 20 degrees one day down to 11 degrees the next day, practically overnight, and I actually have even needed to scrape my car once already, and that is not something that I really enjoy doing in the middle of September. So I do hope that maybe some slightly warmer weather will come back, but I'm not being too hopeful. We've got more weather forecast for like down to 2 to 3 degrees next week, so I think that we can safely say that winter is on its way. But I don't mind that too much. I quite like being able to cozy up and get all my like warm jumpers and that kind of thing back out. I don't like it when it's really cold outside, but just this kind of time of year when it's maybe around 10 degrees and you can cozy up inside, and then there's more time, but just maybe you feel more like staying indoors and painting and being cozy and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I just hope that the early frosts that we've already had don't mean that winter is going to come too early this year. But do let me know down in the comments, what's your favourite time of year? I know everyone has their favourites, and some of you will probably love summer and hate winter, and others will be the opposite. So let me know down in the comments. I'm really interesting to find out. And I was out in the garden doing the last bits of tidying up last weekend just before winter, planting some bulbs, so that I've got some daffodils to look forward to and some fritillaries and snowdrops all to look forward to in the spring. So that's another good thing about autumn, is you can prepare for next year when the nice weather is going to come back. And after doing all the leaves and things on this piece, I decided that the wreath was looking a bit square and a bit bare. So I added in this text that you can see me doing now. I found the font online and then just tried to copy it the best I could. Unfortunately I think I did it a bit too far over to the left, but never mind. I think I'm going to end up cutting this wreath out and repurposing it, because I did end up smudging it later on, unfortunately. So I do have a way that I'm going to use it anyway. But yeah, after I'd done these berries and things, I decided then that it was still looking a little bit bare, so I got out my Gansai Tambi Starry paints and decided to just go into the background and paint some really nice gold sparkly what would you say, more leaves really. And it was just when I was adding the gold that I ended up smudging these red berries that I was doing now, because I didn't quite leave it enough time in between the drying times. But that is just absolutely typical for me really. I tend to have a bit of a love-hate relationship with paint really. I am just always getting it all over me. It actually doesn't really matter how close it is to me, or like if it's wet or dry. I seem to find the tiny little bit that's wet and get it on me. I remember when I was, I don't know, 4 or 5, and my mum was redecorating my room in like My Little Pony wallpaper and that kind of thing, as you do when you were 4 and 5 in the 80s. And she was obviously painting some of the walls pink as well. And I remember walking into the room and she'd left the paint open, and I walked straight barefoot onto the lid of the paint tin. And I then had to hop so that I didn't get it onto the carpet, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And there you go. That's kind of all I remember. I don't think I got it on the carpet, but I can't be entirely sure. It was a very long time ago. Then I also remember a case of when I was around 14. I went into the kitchen to like get a drink, and I leant against the counter as you do, and I was just drinking my drink, but my mum had put a paint tin there on the counter, and I hadn't really seen it, and I just managed to get like paint all over the back of my jacket, which was like wet paint just around the edge of the tin where she liked to wipe her brushes and stuff. So yeah, it doesn't really matter where I am and how careful I try to be. I will get it on my hands, I will get it on my face, I will get it on my back, on my feet. I will just get it wherever. And as you can see, that's what happened on this piece as well. But I've decided that I am going to just cut the actual wreath out of the paper, and I will probably use it as some sort of card. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching and listening to my mishaps, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!